Welcome back to Freelancer School. My name is Chris Corman, and in today's video, I'm going to show you a quick direct outreach success plan that you can use to sell more of your products or services. In particular, I've used this to sell marketing freelance services, but you can use this for all kinds of different products and services, including there's for different agency clients that we've done LinkedIn outreach for. They've sold to police departments like specific products like stop stick style, the things they use to pop the tires in cars during police chases, as well as AI development services, marketing freelance services. Just like I said earlier, you can use. I've seen a mentor I had used it to sell personal training, like fitness training, to people on LinkedIn. So it can be used for quite a few different industries and niches. Super effective, but it's more about the general fundamentals that you're going to want to nail and then optimize over time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. And there will also be a link in the description where you can schedule a call with myself or somebody from the team, and we can help you with your direct outreach process, help you start a new direct outreach process. But if you're interested in that, look down in the description. Jumping in, we've got platforms, strategy, and then a general messaging template that I've created here. I'm going to walk you through each of these little areas real quick. So platforms wise, there are a ton of different platforms you could use, and you don't even have to use like the general platforms that everyone uses, like Facebook, TikTok, X.com, LinkedIn. Like those are the places that I would probably start. But you can also add on the different. There's all kinds of different niche community platforms, whether that's like Rumble. I honestly don't know all the different specific like places that you can create communities. Kind of, like, I put one of them here, school.com. That's the one I use, and it's getting bigger right now. But there are all kinds of different small platforms that you could use as well. But we're going to go and focus on the big ones that are pretty common amongst a lot of people. I particularly really like LinkedIn. I do a lot of B2B service, or I serve businesses, whether that's them selling directly to customers or selling to other businesses. And LinkedIn has a ton of business owners. It's got a lot of qualified prospects, candidates on there. It's a great place to start. And LinkedIn is geared towards people being able to do that on the platform, and they welcome it as long as you do the right things and you engage people positively in a productive way that doesn't you avoid negative engagements, which is like spamming people, people blocking you, people you messaging people who aren't qualified for your offer or service. As long as you do the right things, LinkedIn will definitely allow you to do that, which obviously you guys have all seen LinkedIn. This is what mine looks like. And you've got school.com. It's a big community platform. I'll say real quick, LinkedIn has it's 20 to 40 per day, 5 days per week, as far as like the amount of outreach you can do, and you can do it a, a little bit more than that, but as a rule of thumb, think like 100 outreaches per week on LinkedIn. When you get into like the more advanced subscription level, I think you can do more in mails on the Sales Navigator core. But think of it like 100 outreaches a week type deal, 100 to 200. And then you've got school.com. At the current time, the last time I checked, it was 50 per day that they allow for direct outreach. But again, you're going to want to, similar to LinkedIn, you're going to want to stay in the positive engagement. Don't get a bunch of people blocking your account, because that could easily get it. They could limit you internally on the platform if they start seeing that, and altogether ban you from the platform. You keep on spamming people. So again, stay positive with that. And School.com looks like this. It's created by Sam Evans. I love this platform. It's still different than LinkedIn, but similar in that there's a lot of business owners. There's a lot of people, qualified prospects, and just people that are interested and savvy to doing things online, paying for things online. So a great place if you're a remote freelancer or have got an online business to reach out to people and start making sales, hopping on strategy calls, inviting people to your community, sharing content with them. A great place for that. And then we've got YouTube. So I've personally sold using YouTube as well. And what you want to do there is go to I've used cold email with YouTube successfully, and for example, let's do I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. This is my, yeah. So if you go to the like the home page of a channel that you want to, let's say you want to do YouTube ads for, you want to help them plan their content or post their content, or you want to be a copywriter, help them with copywriting, or you have you're doing influencer marketing and you want them to promote a specific product for you. What you can do is go to their homepage and you click this little angle sign, and then you scroll down, click view email address. You do the little captcha, it's going to show the email address. Then you can pay an assistant to do this, which I've done in the past. I've also done this myself. And you can create a email list of different qualified channels that you could help doing that. And then you reach out to them directly and make them an offer. And you can use the message template that I have on this page here, but you always definitely want to customize it. But YouTube definitely works as well, depending on what you're offering. Then Facebook, I am not going to get on Facebook with you guys right now, but Facebook also used that. I think the offer I sold back in the day was anxiety coaching when I was first getting kind of started in online sales. And yeah, you can go into Facebook groups. I'd say is a really good place to start, or even the best place to start is people you already know, asking them for warm referrals, or ask them directly if they're interested in trying your product or service. That like people that friends of yours on Facebook. And then what I personally did was it was cold outreach, and I would go into different Facebook groups and respond to people's questions in there, and people would be like, "Thank you, I really appreciate that," and that basically started the conversation. Then you add them as a friend, then you reach out to them, and be like, "Hey, I'm doing this thing right now, and if you're interested, maybe we can hop on a free call and see if I can help you with anything." And then at the end of the call, I'll make them an offer, or in this case, I was making them an offer for extended ongoing service, or they can even just pay you. Actually, that specific person paid me just for that call specifically. So, Facebook using direct messenger totally works, but the difference here, so YouTube will say I think it's 20 per day they allow to see channel email address per Google profile. So for every Google profile you use, and let's say you had like 5 different Chrome profiles, like you right click down here and pull up all your different Chrome profiles, you would be able to, if you use different Chrome profiles, you could keep seeing more and more email addresses, which would make this kind of unlimited. But personally, I'd shoot for like 100 a day. And really, in this particular thing, it can be very time consuming going through different channels and determining if they're qualified candidates and viewing their email address and creating a prospect list. So for YouTube, I would personally pay an assistant to do that if possible. But really, it's kind of unlimited in the amount of email addresses you could take from YouTube per day. Facebook, though, maybe 20 per day, but what I'm going to tell you right now is what in my experience is 5 per day. And with Facebook, it works algorithmically. Like if you're getting positive engagement, you're not spamming people. This is kind of a deeper explanation, which we should probably make a separate video on this. But for Facebook, if you're doing new cold outreach in groups that with people you don't know, first off, the best thing to do is just get them as a friend, like add them as a friend, answer the questions in groups, whatever, add them as a friend, comment on their posts, add them as a friend, things like that, and stick to 5 per day until things are warmed up in your account. And if it was your own Facebook group though, and you had quite a few different followers, let's say a couple hundred followers, a couple thousand followers in that group, then you could exceed that 5 per day, but take it in 5 increments of 5. Like do 5, everything's working fine, no issues, no blocking, whatever. Then 10, then 15, then 20. And again, don't do things in a spammy way. Make sure it's personal, authentic style messaging when you reach out to people on Facebook as well as Instagram, because these, in my opinion, are more sensitive to volume of outreach and negative engagement in terms of shutting down your ability to be able to reach out to people at all. And you don't want your Facebook account blocked whatsoever. So I'd say take these slow. Instagram I've also used. I think Instagram's slightly less sensitive than Facebook, but probably pretty sensitive as well. I personally was sending the last time I used Instagram for direct outreach. I was doing influencer marketing for a restaurant, and I was reaching out to 5 local Instagram influencers per day to show up at the restaurant in exchange for a free meal and to um, in exchange for a free meal, and then they would promote the restaurant on their Instagram. We would save the photo and add it to the restaurant's profile. But 5 per day on Instagram was not causing me any issues, and I was getting a lot of positive engagement. So I probably easily could have done more, probably around 10, 15 maybe. And the metrics on this were really good though. And the other reason why I was doing 5 per day is because I was getting 3 to 4 responses on each per day, and actually I shouldn't put that because depending on your product service, you won't be getting this. This is the highest response rate I've ever gotten. It was for 5 outreaches per day. I was getting 3 to 4 responses per day, and then 1 through 2 people each day were agreeing to show up at the restaurant and basically take me up on my offer. Obviously, it was a relative free offer. They still had to get ready, come to the restaurant, do all the work promoting it, which I really appreciate them for doing that. But yeah, one person was closing each day on that 5 per day. So, and it's worth considering that, like this LinkedIn 20 to 40 per day, you could get into a situation with where 10 outreaches per day, 5 to 10 outreaches per day, is closing one new client or per day, or one new client per week, and that's all you can really handle or all you really need. So, feel free to adjust these numbers based on your different offer and service, and 100% trend away from spammy people. The algorithms on the different platforms are getting more and more strict on towards people that are just blasting different messages to people that don't want it, and are trending far more towards positively engaging people and going through kind of like a step ladder value process of talking to the person, engaging with them positively before transitioning to like a discovery call or something later on. X.com, I personally have done direct outreach on here, but I have not extensively sold in this. But I think it's worth noting because the last time I checked, they may have changed this by now, but it was 500 per day for a maximum direct outreach messages that you could do. And I feel like the audience and avatar is not. There's a ton of people on X.com. It's kind of like Facebook in that there's a huge variety of different people that you can reach out to, from businesses to personal regular people to influencers. But I still feel that the the context of the platform tends towards certain types of products and services and certain types of direct outreach. So you're going to want to make sure your offer or service lines up with that in the way you're doing it on the platform. But I think it's worth noting just because of the volume that you can do on X.com, and it's it's been revamped. It's trending now with Elon Musk, and there's quite a bit of engagement right now by a variety of different niches. So great place to look there. Next, cold email. This requires probably a video series to explain how to do effectively, but I've also done this successfully, both to get jobs in the past, to sell specific products that weren't marketing related. Like I worked for cannabis company when Oklahoma legalized medical marijuana many years back, and I used both cold email and phone call to create relationships with businesses, and for packaging sales, and I might as well put that on there as well. SMS phone text works as well, and especially if there's like lead list with the phone numbers, like in the case of the cannabis packaging company, the phone numbers were all listed in a big database, and everybody had to put like an accurate phone number there. So tons of people were responding via text message. And then you got cold email, which I've sold marketing services through as well. But you just have to there's a ton of competition with cold email, but there's quite a bit of different loops or hoops and restrictions that cause people who aren't very good at it, don't know what they're doing, to be heavily limited and not be successful. So if you do this right, it can be very successful and almost unlimited based on in terms of the amount of emails that you can send per day. People send thousands of cold emails, and if you include building email lists, you can broadcast to 100,000 people, a million people on email. But just think of it in terms of direct outreach, like the one-on-one direct outreach. It's all about creating an email list, which you can use AI. Again, different email or video series, which I can explain this more in depth. But you can use AI as a tool to help you. You can use personal assistants, create lead lists, and to also send the emails, and AI tools to send the emails for you as well, different automation platforms. But cold email is huge. Then phone calls, I've personally done cold calling for marketing services as well as selling. I used to work for, or be a manager at a big cannabis grow here in Oklahoma as well. And I used cold call to sell literally the cannabis flower product that we had, as well as refined product, and sell that to local dispensaries. And I would literally just call local dispensaries all day. And kind of like, to be honest, I thought cold call would not work out so well because of the competition and people calling. But what you end up finding out is if it's kind of like if you called people to send them $1,000, even though that would sound like a scam. But the general idea is like if you have something that's a good offer that people want, and then people hear that you have that and they trust that you have that, they'll take you up on it. People are constantly looking for the problems to be solved. They're constantly looking for different benefits or rewards that they can take advantage of. So if you have the right offer, then cold call and cold email works really well. Like you hear stories of people calling hundreds of people a day, people like, and I'm gonna put this as well, door to door. That works as well. But people calling hundreds of people, getting people hanging up on them, and I feel like maybe with like insurance or things that are financial services, things like that, maybe that happens a lot. But again, those companies are still successful doing this, so obviously they still do it. But with certain types of offers, especially things that are unique, that are very helpful, they're what the business needs, that's super tailored to the person you're calling, people are more than happy to take your phone call and to hop on we'll call this like the initial introductory call, and then hop on a discovery call or strategy call and pay you right then, or set an appointment where you come in and meet them, or you do a video call, whatever it is. But it totally works. SMS totally works. And then door to door, which I've done as well successfully, selling first, doing lawn mowing door to door sales, then roofing door to door sales, and marketing service door to door sales. And uh, yes, some people don't want you there, but honestly, most people are really polite and respectful. And there's people that take it. Again, there there's there may be out of 100 people, maybe only one or two people actually take you up on your offer or are interested. But just that one sale could be worth $10,000 to you. And how long does it take to do 100 door-to-door knocks? It might take you. You may probably do it in one day, but we'll say that Monday through Friday, if you put enough time into it, you could do it in a week. In that one sale per week could be more than you make. If you do that once per week, those four sales in that month could be more than you'd make at a salaried full-time position. So door to door can definitely still work. But I'd like to say real quick that if I were focusing on this and what I currently do, we're inviting people into Freelance School community and like the beta testing program for Freelance School coaching. So we're doing LinkedIn right now, getting ready to start school.com. I'm going to stick to just these two because we're doing content as well, and we already have our marketing service, still taking care of our clients. We get referrals. So these are the two that I focus on, but my recommendation is to pick one that is most relevant to your product or service and focus on that, get it going. And then if there's good reason to add another one or switch it out for something different, feel free to do that. But these are the places that I would start. Then strategy wise, I've already started kind of hitting this on the above, but as a rule of thumb, it may be 200 that it takes to get to hit your KPIs and hit the sales quotas you need. But I think 100 is a great place to start. It's a high number, and generally like that's where the data starts to really play out well, in my opinion. So let's say you have 100 outreaches. On average, what I've experienced across the board relatively is that'll turn into 20 conversations per day, meaning people that responded to you. Actually, it's be like 20 to 30. And then that this 30 would include people that are saying, no, I'm not interested, whatnot. And you say, thank you, let me know if you need help in the future. But around 20, maybe 10 to 20 actual conversations, people might ask, can you send me over some more details? I'm interested, but blah, 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 blah. So that's going to be 20 conversations. And those will be quick touches on your phone, on the on email, DM on the platform, and may take you an extra hour, hour and a half to deal with these types of conversations. Then you want to lead these people that you've talked to into a discovery call. And let's say you're doing this 100 outreaches per day. Ideally, and as a rough estimate, this can easily lead to 3 to 4 discovery calls, like quick 15-minute discovery calls, because they're interested and they want to learn more. And you get them on the phone, you talk to them, you learn about what's their wants, their needs, desires, their dream outcome, and then if they're qualified, you explain how your product or service helps them achieve that dream outcome. And then out of these 3 to 4 discovery calls, let's say 3 people show up, you're looking at that one sale. If you're a really good, pretty decent salesperson, and depending on like the qualified qualification of the candidates that you got on the call and initially, but this could lead to 1 to 2 sales easily per day. And if you need it, you need to hit this number, but this number isn't doing it for you, and it's just generating, like, say, half a sale per day on average, then bump this up to 200, or get an assistant, or do something different that can help you hit that KPI. So that's a general idea of the fundamentals on KPIs for strategy. And finally, I'm going to go ahead and show you here messaging template. So this is what I had showed some like recently in a community direct outreach community I'm part of on Slack. Somebody was asking for me to analyze their outreach message and for any assistance that I could give them on how they could improve it. And I gave my feedback, and basically the issue was they just sounded too general. And what I see just in general on an outreach, when I go look at my email, for example, there's just a ton of people and just not customizing. They're just blasting a ton of messages, and in my opinion, they're missing out on a lot of the people that would have taken them up if they just had a more personalized message. Even if they're doing this on a mass basis, you want to do whatever you can to personalize it in some way and to show you're real and authentic, and that somebody actually looked at the person being messaged versus the person feeling like the person never even looked at them. They're just blasting the message at them. So what does that mean? What does it look like? This is like a general idea that for a cold email, this is the template relatively that I used when I respond to that person, but it could be used kind of across the board. It's a little too long for the initial. You're gonna have to look at the character counts that you're limited to on the different platforms. But like LinkedIn, it's 300 characters, give or take, on the initial introductory, connection request message that you can put in there. And once you get connected, I'm pretty sure you can type paragraphs. I've personally done it, and it sends just fine. But and on email, obviously, you can send quite a bit here. You can send it's relatively unlimited amount of characters you can send to somebody in the initial outreach email. But what you're ideally, you're keeping it as brief as possible while coming off true, authentic, and personalized and relevant to the person you're messaging. So what does that look like? Hi, first name. You've researched their first name. It doesn't say hi, nobody, and then gets in the message, says the first name. You want to know the first name 100% if you can. Then next thing is a personalized compliment. And if it's LinkedIn, look at their profile, or have your assistant look at the profile, or have an AI tool analyze their business or profile. That'll be another video where I kind of break that down in more depth. But let's say it was, you know, they saw that I do e-commerce, paid media, email marketing management. They could, honestly, you could say that and be like, or you could say even this picture here. You could be like, hey, is that Denver in your background? It looks beautiful. That could be even the thing. That by itself, when people just say something that's personalized and true, it catches you. And even just by just that, even if the rest of the message sucked and wasn't an offer I cared about at all, like they're offering me SEO services for my marketing website, then I still respond to them because they took the time to look me up and say something personal. Just like it's like if somebody's on the streets and they're selling, let's say, even if they're selling Bibles or broomsticks on the street and they had a bunch of broomsticks in their hand, I'm like, what is that person doing? If they walked up to me and said, I like your shoes, I'm going to stop and say thank you. And I'd probably listen to them when they said on the next statement when they offered me a broomstick. Whereas if they just kind of walked up to everybody and said, "You want a broomstick? You want a broomstick?" You're so much more likely to ignore them. So personal comment, huge deal. Then getting direct to the point, I'm reaching out because um, I'd like to explain this in more depth, but basically you want if when you tell somebody a reason, there's so much more likely to respond, there's so much more likely to help you. Just giving any reasoning at all, there's a study done on this, like if you give a reason why you're cutting somebody in line, they're so much more likely to allow you to do it. So you want to tell them why you're reaching out, and here's where it kind of gets down to the gritty. Hopefully what you have actually helps them and has helped somebody similar, and you can share that here. Like I just helped another e-commerce company boost sales by 20% in just under 60 days with paid media management, Facebook advertising, using this budget. And I would love to help you or your company do the same thing. Customize this based on if you're helping them or the company, tailor all this messaging in this message. And then if you're interested, here's the call to action and learning more. This is like no pressure. I'm not telling them they have to message me. You better message me if you want more sales or anything weird like that. I've just clearly and honestly told them something positive that I found about them. I told them why I'm reaching out, and I built relevance to help somebody similar do something that they likely are having an issue with or they want themselves. And then I'm saying, hey, if you're interested in learning more about what we did that worked so well, and you can obviously customize this as well. Shoot me a message, shoot me a reply, and I can send over more details. And then and then your name, like mine would be Chris Cornman. And that's a general little message. And you may try this in the first 10 and get like one response, or you try it on 200, you get like a couple of responses, and you're like, seems like worked okay, but needs to be adjusted. And that's exactly what you should be doing. Direct outreach, the fundamental to this is to be doing baseline KPIs and then optimizing it over the time. Almost never, I don't even know if I've ever seen it, where somebody just started doing direct outreach, they made the first message they used worked every single time, though it is possible. Um, but it's pretty much always just been an iterative process. And then once you iterate it and nail it, that's where it gets really good, because you can just repeat that same process and scale. Like if you have ongoing service management, you can just scale that to the amount of clients you want, or the amount of direct, individual sales that you want, and that's it. This is the rough idea. If you would like me to analyze your outreach process that you're already doing to help you improve it and get better results, or if you want to start a direct outreach process for your company, then I'd love to help you out with that. Feel free to click the link in the description and we can hop on a call and I'll help you. Other than that, I'll include a link to join Freelancer School. We've almost got that back up and running. We kind of went through a little stint where we're trying to nail the new clients and new service work that we've taken on recently. So look out for that, and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.